Mainstreet guys.
So over the last few videos,
That we've all been chasing.
So look, we were looking at Kalala, we looked.
Like what we're trying to do is in Simon Stone have with us something and the fact that
so with the recent announcement of Off-White's collaboration with the Nike SB Dunk, we thought it was a perfect time to bring up this topic. Is the SB Dunk making a
comeback? I like SB Dunks, dude.
You like SB Dunk?
I think comes to low tops, like we spoke about this, the Jordan ones just feel incomplete as low tops.
And the SB Dunk perfectly substitutes for low tops.
I think the SB Dunks are just really beautiful, like low top shoes. I think low top shoes in general, like it's a very effortless vibe.
How much do you really know about it? How much do we both really know about SB Dunks? I mean,
How much do you really know about like sneaker culture in general?
Granted, we just got into it. SB Dunks were nowhere when we started like following sneakers, I suppose.
It's also because it goes back to a very it's more of an old time like classy sneakerhead game.
True. So I actually I read up on the show a little bit.
I'll tell you why we don't know much about SB Dunk. Sorry to cut you out, but I just thought of this. If you walk into a room, you see a dude wearing SB Dunks, it doesn't like catch your attention immediately. Our attention, at least our generation of sneakerheads. Like even if it's a Yeezy, which is basically like a GR now. In India, you see somebody wearing Yeezy, you first like, oh, the dude's wearing Yeezy, he's probably into sneakers, or he's probably loaded or some shit like that. In India, at least in our circles where we coming from bloody Pune, I mean Pune, there's no sneaker culture at all. Some dude comes in wearing like a Supreme SB, like a What the Dunk SB, like no one, like, we won't know.
I want that's
until
true
they
actually.
pointed out to us, like we're not gonna care or get hyped about it.
My first introduction to SBs was actually 2 years ago at Sneaker Pimp's Pune chapter. I go to the event and I'm told obviously it's advertising it's gonna have a bunch of rare sneakers up on display, yeah. And of course I'm excited to go there and see the Off-White Nike Chicago because I'm like, that's the shoe, that's the cool new shoe that's
and it just come out.
Yeah, it come out late 2017, so obviously I'm excited to see that. And I go there and on this little wall sort of thing they have on display a bunch of Nike SB Dunks and I'm like, what's going on here? And that's when I met our friend Adi Khush and I told Adi, what's with these shoes? Why are these? I thought going to be rare shoes here. And he's like, you have no clue what you're seeing here. And he takes me to these shoes and he points to a bunch of them and he's like, you know how much this is worth? I'm like, no, this is $4,000, this is $5,000, this is $10,000, this is $14,000 and my perception of the most expensive shoe at the time was the Chicago, which was at about $1,500 at the time. So it really did blow my mind. It did really blow my mind.
$1,500.
I was like, wow.
Steal deal today.
I was like, wow, $1,500 is like the most. What are these dunks worth for $4,500? And I obviously wanted to fact check him, and he's probably just trying to hype me up. Opened my phone and I checked it. They were actually so expensive. So obviously I looked into it a little bit. I've been reading up on the SB Dunks. And what I saw was in 2002, Nike made how they have a separate division for Jordan. They also have a separate division for the Dunks, which is the SB Dunk.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the SB Dunk division. Because Dunks, I think, were an old shoe. I think it was initially a basketball shoe for the hardwood. Then they made it specifically for a skateboarder. So they made a separate division called the SB Dunk division. And then they made it in collaboration with a bunch of different skaters from different groups.
So SB stands for skateboard.
Yeah. So it's essentially for skateboarders. And then since then, they've had iconic SB Dunks. I don't know if anybody watching here knows, but there's the Tiffany Dunks with Diamond Supply, and then there was the most disruptive sneaker release of Nike at the time, which was the Jeff Staples, the Pigeon Dunks.
The first ever
Pigeon
hype
Dunks.
sneaker.
If you guys don't know about this, it caused a mass riot. People died. They had to shut down that drop.
Yeah, they were giving cops were giving kids like $5 because everyone had any money. So they were like, just take a cab, go as far as you can. Leave.
Yeah, I know. They were escorting people away and all that stuff. It was crazy.
I think that was the first time that they saw any real outrage.
Mass hysteria, over a pair of sneakers. It's crazy. People getting mugged on the street, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the reason why I think we brought up this topic of whether it's SB Dunks are making a comeback is because of late we've been seeing a lot of hype SB Dunk release again. Off-White SB Dunk is not an isolated incident. The Jeff Staples has a third iteration of the Pigeon Dunks now. Second one in 2017, third one 2019. Concepts are back with the lobster dunks.
Yeah.
Lobster dunks are back.
And our Grail brand Off-White is doing
it, and all the celebrities are very
honestly, these Off-White dunks are pretty ugly in my opinion. Some of them are pretty ugly.
I don't like them at all either. I mean, and as Adi Ghosh rightly pointed out, the design is a little lazy in his opinion. He says the older ones are better, and he kind of has a point. If you guys compare a What the Dunk to off-white dunk, I mean, you can clearly see how boring that is. But it's SB dunks are popular even beyond that. You know, a lot of famous people are wearing it now. Travis has his own shoes. He has his Jordans. He has his Air Forces. He's got the Jordan 4.
Travis hasn't done any dunks, no?
Travis hasn't any collaborated any dunks, but
But he wears dunks
Instagram,
all the time.
if you see his Instagram, it's only SB dunks. Virgil started wearing SB dunks again. Which is why they were at his runway show. Who else has been wearing dunks, bro? ASAP Rocky wears dunks. He wore dunks in a more recent post.
Rocky. Again, the point is like, even Travis, for example, he's really into fashion. Him wearing dunks is probably what's accentuating like more of our generation of sneakerheads to get into it.
And the prices are going up.
But we still don't see it like nearly as popular now. There's still kids around our ages who are still more into the off-whites and things like that. Like, it's so much harder in India, for example, to sell a Tiffany dunk or the Red Lobster or the Purple Lobster.
Probably true, but
as compared to like, you know, we've sold like just nominal, very stupid off-whites at crazy prices.
well, yeah, not very high price, but okay, fine. So let's boil it down. Final verdict: are the SB dunks making a comeback? Have they made a comeback already? Better.
I think as all trends do, they're gonna have a retro cycle. They come up, they become trendy, they fade out. And the thing with the fashion world is they're always looking for something like new and hype new, right?
Yeah.
And very often that's either something fresh and new. It's very hard for something fresh and new to happen because so much is already done. Instead of imitating or copying, they're just like, I'm gonna wear something that's not trendy anymore. I think the same thing's gonna happen with Jordan 1s. I think the same thing's gonna happen with this off-white collab.
So I'm gonna boil it down. Have they made a comeback? Yes or no?
I think they have, but in a very natural cycle where it's been so long since they came out and since they were in the most hyped trend, and now it's time for them to be back into some form of trend.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I also agree that they may have made a comeback, but that's because I just think retro dressing has been, like, retro clothing has been extremely trendy right now, especially retro clothing. You know, it's not, when I mentioned Travis Scott, it's not just him wearing SB Dunk. He's also wearing these retro Nirvana t-shirts, AC/DC t-shirts, Guns N' Roses t-shirts. My Instagram actually is full of these streetwear. These smaller streetwear pages are just people wearing retro fits. You know, there's a lot of vintage stores out now. High Snob actually did an article where they pointed out the 10 best on Instagram stores where you can cop retro clothes, and you know that the article got a bunch of views. It's clearly something. Retro clothing, in my opinion, has made a comeback. It's probably why SB Dunks are on the come up again. But yes.
I'm quite excited to see if we'll see more like newer iterations of SB Dunks. I don't see that happening that much. I mean, other than the Off-White.
Yeah, they're recycling old collaborations. Yeah.
But Off-White was in a cycle of things where they've been recycling so many older shoes anyway, right? I want to see if we'll see any like fresh SB.
True.
colors.
I hope so.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. I hope to sell more here. I'd personally love to own a pair of cool SB Dunks, but I can't afford them.
But if you're looking for a pair of SBs or any sort of cool shoe you want to source, you can hit us up at Marketplace by Mainstreet.
WhatsApp us on
this number here and let us know what you think about SB Dunks and who you think we should have on the podcast next. This is a quick episode of, again, just Khush and me. I think we're going to do a couple more of these soon. But that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.